Hey guys, I'm Austin, and this is Everyday Nerd. Today I just wanted to share my thoughts with you on an article I came across on, I think it was Auto News, roughly a week-ish ago, talking about some problems that Cadillac's having with their dealer network, as if things weren't getting spicy enough for them. So if you want to stick around and hear why I think this might be another nail in their coffin, please do so. If you don't want to stick around, well, that's slightly hurtful, but at the same time, I suppose I understand, even though I don't want to, even though maybe you're a jerk. Whoa, calm down, buddy. Oh my gosh, that language. What are you, a sailor? Whoa, hey, take this outside. We're going outside right now. Wow, I feel better now. So let's pretend that didn't happen and get right into the video. So Cadillac, things are getting interesting for them. They recently reached out to their dealership network and gave all those dealers two options. One was to spend about $200,000 upgrading their facilities to accommodate future electric vehicles that I think will start to come out onto the market in around 2022. The other option was that Cadillac will just buy them out of their franchise agreement. Not quite sure how those work, but they offered anywhere from $300,000 to $1 million. $1 million, $50,000. Or was it his pinky? Ah, crap. So here you have a manufacturer who's already at a disadvantage when it comes to the reach they have to the consumers, because they've just lost almost a quarter of their footprint within the country. So Cadillac expects to begin selling electric vehicles in 2022, starting with their new sedan, the Lyric. I feel like this is too late, honestly. I mean, you have Tesla, who's already dominating the EV space now, and they're hoping that by 2023 that they're going to have the costs of their batteries cut in half. I mean, it's almost like starting a race at the end of the race. There's almost no point. Moving on from that, what further blows my mind is that Cadillac says they're hoping to sell only electric vehicles by the year 2030, but if they feel that the marketplace is ready. I mean, with that attitude, I don't think they're going to last much longer. If they do last, maybe a majority of the company will die, and the electrified portion of the company will get spun off into its own smaller company, maybe stick with GM, or maybe that'll die too, who knows. I'm reminded of Tesla, but not in a good way. I'm reminded of a Tesla that might exist in an alternate reality, a very timid and poorly pivoting Tesla. Because like when Tesla first came to the market, people didn't expect much from them. They're just like, oh yeah, that's some weird little upstart that's just going to go bankrupt in the next year or two, maybe 3 max, whatever. And now look where they are today. They're joining the S&P 500 on December 21st, which may or may not be after this video goes live. We will see. Cadillac, on the other hand, is starting from scratch, and they're starting very slowly and ramping up very slowly, or maybe not even ramping up at all, which I do not understand. They are almost guaranteeing their deaths, in my opinion. But I'm not in charge, so thank God for that. I don't want to have a dying company responsible for my paycheck. And speaking of dying, let's look at some of their sales numbers. So for the year 2018, you had about 154,000 units moved. Tesla has sold more than them, just to point that out. Granted, Cadillac's like a luxury car maker, and Tesla could definitely be viewed as that. However, they're trying to go more and more mainstream with every new iteration and every major milestone and cost reductions. However, those numbers for Cadillac in 2018 are actually a 1.11% decrease from 2017. And then in 2019, their sales numbers increased by exactly 1%, up to roughly 156,000. However, when you look at 2020, Their sales figures for the first 9 months amount to 53,621 cars, which is almost exactly a third of those two previous numbers I just quoted. And that's not good, since there's only a quarter left in 2020. In fact, as I'm recording this video, there's, what, maybe 2 weeks-ish left of December, so the fourth quarter is almost over with. And I'm pretty sure those numbers aren't going to go up by any more than maybe 20,000 units at the most. If they hit 80, I'll be pretty shocked. But that's still almost half their sales from 2 previous years. That's not good. Like I said, I feel like the company's dying. So this kind of ties into my belief that legacy automakers, while having a lot of money and mind share within the established automotive market, are actually, when you get down to the nuts and bolts of manufacturers themselves, at a huge disadvantage. You've got a company like Tesla who has had to do everything from scratch and build themselves from the ground up to manufacture EVs and only EVs, whereas you have companies like GM, Chevy, Jeep, Ford, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Cadillac. I almost forgot to mention Cadillac. I know the theme of this video. But you have companies like them who have all this incredibly expensive infrastructure and overhead tied to the production and maintenance and supply lines of ICE or internal combustion engine vehicles. It's not going to be easy, and it most definitely will not be cheap to pivot that infrastructure towards producing and maintaining electric vehicles and the new infrastructure and supply chains that come with that. I mean, Tesla found that it's ironically cheaper to just build a facility from scratch designed to do what they needed to do rather than retrofitting an older facility like they initially did when they first got off the ground, and they used that to start building their first cars. Now they have the gigafactories. So I'm viewing all those factories that currently exist for those manufacturers as liabilities. You have these incredibly expensive facilities on a ton of land that are suddenly going to become almost worthless once the EV revolution fully matures. So while I do believe that legacy automakers could survive in an EV world, and in an EV world where Tesla is going to continue to dominate unless something incredibly awful happens to them, which I hope not because I have stock in them, I feel as if that opportunity in said places are shrinking with every new year. And even at this point, they pretty much need binoculars to see Tesla. They're almost beyond the horizon, leaving everybody else in the dust. It's hard for me to predict which automaker will be the first casualty or one of the first casualties in this electrification race. However, I am pretty certain that Cadillac will be one of the casualties in this race to electrification, or at least Cadillac as we know them today. All right, if you've made it to the end of this video, then holy crap, thank you so much for watching the whole video. I try to make it short and sweet. I feel like some videos I watch on YouTube are a little bit longer than they need to be. However, if you enjoyed the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel because I've got some other videos in the works and I'd like for you guys to see them. Once again, thank you and have a wonderful night or day.